Iron Maiden finally released their first live song from the Future Past tour, and it almost made me cry.
Good evening, Wacken! All those hands together! Don't be a stranger!
So yes, in case you missed it, 37 years after its release, Iron Maiden finally released a live version of their legendary Stranger in a Strange Land, recorded during their 2023 Lack of the Future Past tour. Now, the video footage for this release has actually been taken from multiple shows from the band's 2023 run, yet the audio was taken only from their last show of the European leg of the tour during the band's appearance at the 2023 Wacken Open Air. And here's the thing, and I think most people actually know that I was actually able to witness that show. But even if you just simply compare this release to the many live footages you can easily find on YouTube from that show, you can actually hear that those are definitely authentic. And it looks like there were absolutely zero overdubs done later on in the studio, which we all, of course, love this band for.
Many years ago, the child at home came this way. I was a young man full of hopes and dreams. Now it seems to me all is lost and nothing gained. Sometimes things ain't what they seem.
But what does this video mean for Iron Maiden fans in a grander scheme of things? Well, first of all, we all of course know that Iron Maiden infamously did not really properly record their original Somewhere on Tour back in 1986, and thus all Iron Maiden fans actually do anticipate that Iron Maiden will fix their initial mistake and will of course release a proper live album of their 2023-2024 The Future Past tour. Yet up until today we didn't actually know how the band will go about this if they decide to do that. So here's the thing, Iron Maiden's performance at Wacken Open Air was actually one of the only several shows that were not live streamed by Wacken TV, although there were actually quite a lot of cameras rolling around during that show. Even more, Iron Maiden were the only artists that actually required a special accreditation, and for which photographers in the photo bit were allowed to stay only for one track, which made it kind of clear right away that Iron Maiden did record their show, yet they wanted to use that footage for their own purposes instead of sharing it with Wacken Open Air. And by the way, even though I did have a press pass, it was actually the only show that I personally decided to put my camera down and stand for 6 hours straight up there in front to be able to enjoy this show by the barrier, which I of course do not regret at all. But still, one of the biggest questions about a hypothetical live album from the Future Past tour that I personally have is how the band will go about it. Will they record it all at one concert, you know, like they did with Rock in Rio? Or will they select the best performances from that tour overall? Or possibly split it between 2023 and then change up the stage a bit, the set list, and then release a second part from 2024? Well, from this video, it looks like the band might actually go through the idea of releasing their entire Wacken Open Air performance at some point in the future. And here is why.
Why?
Well, first of all, no matter what, Wacken Open Air actually did feature the largest crowd Iron Maiden has seen in 2023. With the possible exception of Power Trip, where apparently 80,000 people came out to the desert, but that festival had a quite large seating area right in the middle, which in all honesty would not actually look the best on video.
Yes, that's true.
In addition to that, after watching countless footage from this tour, I can definitely say that Wacken Open Air was in fact one of the best performances by the band on this leg of the tour.
100 years ago, and again it came that way to find the answer to the mystery.
And in addition to that, Nico McBrain, who as we all know suffered a stroke right before the start of the Future Past tour, by that show already did have some time to recover, and of course the way he was met by the Wacken crowd I'm sure was one of the most emotional moments for him on this tour.
But not least, I want to hear a special thank you to this man, Mr. Nico
only question I personally have about this recording though is that I hope that the audio quality for that show is on par with what Iron Maiden should sound like, as I'm not sure whether it is something with my earphones or possibly a streaming service's compression algorithms, but on this live single I did catch quite a lot of noise and clicking, which I hope is just a YouTube thing, and I'm not even sure if I'm not the only one who actually has heard that.
Lost in this space, I'm reading the
So yes, all of that actually does make me believe, and especially if Iron Maiden decide to alter their production and change their setlist a bit next year, that at some point in the future we will definitely see their entire Wacken Open Air show as a part of a large live album and possibly even a small documentary about this tour.
Nice.
And by the way, what do you guys personally think about it? Please let us know in the comments.
Write that down, write that down!
But anyways, as I said before, seeing that live footage from Wacken Open Air actually almost made me shed a tear. As some of you guys who've been with the channel for a while now do know that I've received a special permission to be able to leave Ukraine and to go to Wacken Open Air in Germany for just a couple of days to fundraise for Ukrainian civilians who remain here on the ground in de-occupied regions of Ukraine. And by the way guys, thanks to you we raised more than $6,000 in just 4 days, and since I finally built my own website, I'll post a detailed review about it in just a couple of days, so check it out. But seeing that live footage just reminded me of something I'm sure that all Iron Maiden fans who were able to witness the band live this year felt as well. That this tour is by no means a regular world run by a metal band. It is an extraordinary tour for die-hard fans, for all those boys and girls who were drawing Cyborg 80s in their notepads when they were teenagers, for all those fans around the world who've been imagining for years how it will be like to finally hear Alexander the Great live. And the shivering feeling you get from hearing the Blade Runner intro live is simply incomparable to anything, and is truly unique even compared to the other Iron Maiden shows. In a way, it is even a much more of a legacy tour than the Legacy of the Beast run, which immortalizes Iron Maiden's status as one of the greatest live bands of all time, making you proud of simply being a part of an Iron Maiden family. And of course it is absolutely no coincidence that this live video was released on the same day as the tickets for the North American tour and the Chile dates go on sale. So here I just want to point out that if you guys do have a chance to witness the Future Past tour anywhere nearby and you're still for some reason contemplating whether you should do that or not, honestly, just do it. Believe me, in a couple of years you will definitely not remember how much it cost you, but the memories you will gather at this truly extraordinary and historical tour, and historical not only for Iron Maiden but for heavy metal overall, are the ones that I'm sure you will cherish forever. Even more, since there are quite a lot of us metal pilgrims already, it would be absolutely amazing if we could organize meetups in at least some of the cities the band will visit next year. So yes, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you still haven't done so yet, and thank you so much for watching this video. We will prevail. Slava Ukraini!